There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, show recaps, predictions, sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and I'm back live for your LFG Season 3, Episode 1 recap. Oh boy, these shows go by fast. I did not remember how fast these shows go. But shout out to Miami for the LFG Legend of Future Great Season recap background. So yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to watch the show, and then I don't have the app, so I ended up having to upgrade my Hulu plan because YouTube TV does not offer A&E, but I was able to watch the show. So yeah, we're back. This is LFG Season 3. Like I said previously, I started LFG Season 1. I did a few episodes, and then I believe I might have done 1 or 2 episodes on Season 2 as well. But I wasn't able to finish the season. So I'm definitely glad to be back. Obviously, LFG has a little bit different feel this season, because we got a couple of new coaches. Obviously, it's not structured the same way as the previous 2 seasons, but still a good show. Obviously, a lot of stuff happened really early on in episode number 1. What's going on, Peter? I don't know what will happen in WWE and cable TV much better than Netflix. Yeah, I had YouTube TV and I thought A&E was on there. I have Hulu, but they said I had to have Hulu Live, so I just went ahead and upgraded to Hulu Live so that I could get LFG, because if I can't watch it, I can't recap it. So, but yeah, LFG is back. Super glad, super excited. Been pumped up about it for about a month now. Just reading a post. Will Rock vs. Reigns happen in Rita? Yes. Yes. Just a few seconds while I go ahead and retweet. I didn't even post it. I was going live. So, I do believe that Rock Roman will happen in Saudi Arabia. I definitely do. Sorry guys, I went live a couple of minutes early, so I'm trying to get set up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed the Sunday night scoops. This is the second half of the doubleheader on Sunday, which is LFG Season 3, Episode 1. I knew Sunday scoops was going to be long as hell. I didn't have a show last week. Shout out to Wrestle Fanatic that comes in every single Sunday. I think he had 70 something questions today. So yeah, pretty wild. So let's go ahead and get into it. kind of go over who we have this season. Obviously, it's a different format, like I said, but not in a bad way. It's just kind of a different feeling, I guess. Just simply due to everything that happened before SmackDown. Obviously, a couple of people that are on the LFG show, and then we just saw it was updated. Corey Hayes from Body Slam reported that the Carly Bright was also released, so she's also part of LFG season 3. I don't think Triple H is gonna leave. I think he'll be fired. Give it about 18 months or so. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. It's an hour show, so it shouldn't be a very long recap. But WWE LFG is back for another season, and this time the format is getting a shakeup as new competitors fight for a shot at making it to NXT after 2 seasons. Obviously, if you watch it live, it's on A&E. WWE LFG's return with season 3, starting live here today, April 26th. 2026. Like previous season, the show follows rising talent competing for an NXT contract while being guided by veteran coaches. The earlier seasons, which I think it was season 2, had 15 episodes. So I don't know how many this one has. Probably about 14 or 15 or something like that. The one big change this season is the coaching setup. Like the first 2 seasons, where it featured Retired Legends season 3 as what's going on, Raymond? Good to see you. Season 3 adds active WWE superstars to the mix as coaches. Kevin Owens and Natalya join Booker T and Bubba Ray Dudley as coaches because obviously Undertaker is now heavily involved with AAA, and Michelle McCool was there last season. So, bringing both experience and current locker room perspective to the competition. TK has officially destroyed WWE. The 10 ticket price. What else is next? Yeah. Should have been in the Scoop show at 6. A lot of TKO questions in there. So they have up to March for sure. Have you gone to Bolivia? I have not. To Bolivia. Kevin Owens will be appearing on the show while recovering from neck surgery, giving him a chance to stay involved while helping mentor the next wave of talent. Natty and Natalya, so active in WWE competition, also adds current in-ring insight for contestants trying to earn their spot. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So we have the season 3 coaches are going to be Booker T, Bubba Ray Dudley, Kevin Owens, and Natalya. And this is a quick rundown of the LFG season 3 contestants. We're going to have Zena Sterling, who was a runner-up, I believe, in season 1. Yeah, I think season 1 she was a runner-up. She came really close in season 2. Chris Island, who obviously was just released. Tristan Angels, Bailey Humphrey, Romeo Moreno, Serena Linton. Obviously, she was in season 1 and 2 as well, and also just released. Rising Star and future NXT Women's Champion Kendall Gray, which I'll talk about. She was featured heavily in this episode tonight, which I don't know if she'll be any more episodes because obviously we'll see what happens at the end of the episode. But Braxton Cole, Carly Bright, which I just spoke about, was recently released, I guess today. Harlan Lewis, Harley Riggins, Mason Holiday, PJ Vasa, formerly known as Panina Talupia or something like that. From season 1 or season 2, but she went to Evolve and changed her name to PJ Vasa. Trill London, obviously one of the releases that just went through. Chantel Monroe, Roxanne Perez's boyfriend, which is also, he's from the same state as me, actually like only 100 miles from me. Drake Moreau. Obviously, they had a big tease at the end of episode 1. Looks like he's being removed from the PC, so I don't know if that means he's going to. They sound like they want you to think that his time's over, but that's Roxanne Perez's boyfriend, so I have a feeling maybe he's going up to NXT. Jack Presley, Nikita Lyons, obviously very famous Nikita. Elijah Holyfield, which was the boyfriend of Zena Sterling, I'm sorry. Ilya Lepore, who we've seen on NXT already. Kiana Carver, who's in the main event picture already on NXT. Layla Diggs, Shady Alanius, which is now the current boyfriend of WWE United States Champion Tiffany Stratton. Cam Hendricks, who is married to WWE former Intercontinental Champion Maxine Dupree. Tate Wilder, Dorian Van Doo, who we just saw the last couple of weeks on NXT as well, and Callie Armstrong, who just made her debut last week on NXT. Season 3 looks to keep the momentum going after 2 strong runs, especially with the addition of active WWE names helping guide the roster. The new format and a fresh group of competitors chasing NXT contracts. Pressure starts right away when the new season kicks off. So did anybody watch LFG tonight? Anybody here watch it? Alright. So let's go ahead and get started. Pulling up all my notes. I try to take notes as fast as I can. I started watching it. So the episode title for WWE LFG Season 3, Episode 1 is called A New LFG. Season 3 of WWE LFG kicked off with a major format change. So like I said in previous seasons, if you guys didn't watch, or if you did, obviously you can just disregard. There was always four coaches. They normally on the first episode would pick their teams, and then they would have matches or whatever, and then all the coaches would vote at the end of all the matches for the best female performer that night and the best male, and then they would receive points for their coaches. And obviously, whichever coach has the most points at the end of the season would be the champion of the coaches. And then, obviously, when they got down to the playoffs, or what they call a playoff, the points really mattered in order to be able to get to the finals. And then, if you made it to the finals, obviously you won. You was awarded a NXT contract, which there's so many people that's involved in LFG Season 3 that is already in NXT or has been released. So, but Shawn Michaels kicked it off, like basically, he basically said that the format's going to change. It's going to be no more teams, no more point system, and no guaranteed group winners. This year is every future great from themselves as they battle for a chance to move closer to WWE stardom. So basically, the way they have it set up this season, obviously saw it from this episode. I'm sure we're going to be seeing it in future episodes. Basically, the way Shawn Michaels put it is at any certain time during LFG this season, you know, you got the Matt, who's the choreographer, trainer in the back, and Shawn Michaels. If they feel like if they deem that you're fit and you're ready to go ahead and move up to NXT, then that's it, you know. Or if they feel like you're just not cutting the mustard, so to speak, then like you're on. There's no like point system, so like it's a whole different format this season for sure. But like I said, the coaches of the season, Booker T, Bubba Ray Dudley, Kevin Owens, and Natalya. So the episode opened inside the WWE Performance Center with all the new and returning competitors arriving. We have Big Joseph and Jeremy Borash will be the commentators for the matches, as always. The previous two seasons before. Commentary emphasizes that season 3 is going to be tougher than ever because nobody can hide behind team standings anymore. Booker T said this season is about who can rise under pressure. Bubba Ray warned that toughness and attitude matters as much as moves. Kevin Owens is going to be focusing on authenticity and personality. Natalya stressed fundamentals, ring awareness, and aggression. So the coaches immediately began scouting talent, testing mindsets. Several prospects were introduced. Keanu Carver was presented as a powerhouse with confidence. Obviously, he was going to be working with Kevin Owens. Keanu Carver was going to be he was going to be having a match tonight going one-on-one with Drake Monroe. Kevin Owens spoke to him about channeling intensity the right way. Drake Monroe was shown as a gritty competitor trying to prove he belongs. Obviously, he's being coached by Bubba Ray. Kendall Gray, obviously in the main event against PJ Vasa. Kendall Gray was represented by Natty. And PJ Vasa, obviously returning from 2 seasons, was represented by Booker T. Kendall Gray received praise for athleticism and technical base. She was obviously talked about in the how she actually wrestled in the varsity men's wrestling, and she was like 31-0, which I did not know that about Kendall Gray. She is freaking awesome. PJ Vasa was highlighted for strength and explosiveness. Callie Armstrong entered with a star presence and confidence. Nikita Lyons brought experience and striking ability. So the first match of the night, we saw Nikita Lyons going one-on-one with Callie Armstrong. Like I said, Nikita Lyons has kind of been around for a little while. Had some injuries and stuff like that. Callie Armstrong, we saw debut last week on NXT. Obviously, we saw her confront Lola Vice after she defeated Jacy Jayne. So Callie Armstrong has definitely already been called up, but we're just going to pretend like she hasn't been called up to NXT yet. So the build-up, Natalya and Kevin Owens, obviously, are going to be working on both of these women. Natty and Kevin Owens push both women to show more aggression and personality. Coaches said this was a chance to set the tone early for this season. So, let's just kind of get to the action. I didn't really write down word for word exactly what happened in the matches. These matches are usually pretty short, like I said, and these LFG streams with only being an hour, don't expect them to go probably over 30 minutes tops. But like I said, just really not a whole lot to cover, in an hour. So we had a strong opening lockup with Nikita Lyons using her size and kicks early, but Callie Armstrong answered with raw power. Lyons delivered a lot of heavy kicks. Callie Armstrong fired back with shoulder tackles and clothesline, but then Nikita Lyons fired back with corner strike and a lot of trash talking. Nikita Lyons was doing a lot of trash talking to Callie Armstrong. So Nikita went for a power slam that was countered by Callie Armstrong, and then there was a near fall after a spinebuster type attempt impact move. Callie Armstrong showed more urgency late in the match and overwhelmed Lyons physically. So Callie ended up hitting a decisive power slam move for the 1, 2, 3 and scored the pinfall. Callie Armstrong defeated Nikita Lyons. So the coaches' reactions to Kelly defeating Nikita Lyons. Booker T stated that he absolutely loved Kelly's confidence. Natalia praised Nikita Lyons' toughness, but wanted sharper execution. Kevin Owens said Kelly looked like someone ready for bigger stages. As I said before, Kelly Armstrong is already on the NXT roster. And what I do love about LFG, guys, is it's only an hour. So, like, even though I'm streaming a little late, I can get in a recap in like 30 minutes, but maybe 40 minutes tops. So thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, this is one of my favorite shows. I've already went through the entire list of everybody that's listed to be on the show. So match number 2 of the night is going to be Keanu Carver, which if you've been watching NXT, he is heavily involved in the main event picture. Obviously, he's had some backstage stuff with the NXT Men's Champion Tony D'Angelo over the last couple of weeks. I did talk about him a little bit on Scoops earlier today. WWE, I feel, is very high on him. I don't know. I don't think he's got the strength and the power. Big guy, versatile, but I don't know. I feel like with NXT getting gutted like that, they have to have somebody else, and so I think they're putting a rocket on him or whatever. But for me, I still feel like he's a little green. But he is a powerhouse. Obviously, him and Booker T obviously don't see eye to eye. Obviously, you saw that at the Booker T reunion show back in Houston. And then WWE Season 1 winner LFG Season 1 winner Jasper Troy come out there to save Booker T, which was great. But we're going to see Keanu Carver going one-on-one against the Bayou Boy himself, Roxanne Perez's boyfriend, Drake Moreau. Like I said, he actually is from 100 miles from where I'm from, back in Louisiana. So Keanu Carver is going to be represented by Kevin Owens and Drake Monroe, who I believe maybe last season was represented by Bubba Ray. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and check, but Bubba Ray is representing Drake Monroe as well. So for the build-up of this match, it's centered around power versus heart. Kevin Owens challenged Keanu Carver to show discipline, while Bubba Ray wanted Drake Monroe to fight like his career depended on it. So this was a very hard-hitting physical contest. Collar and elbow tie up into a power shove by Keanu Carver. Drake Monroe fired back with some quick strikes, but Keanu Carver absolutely obliterated Monroe with a big boot and a running shoulder block. Drake Monroe fired a comeback with a drop kick, corner splash attempt. That was a counter. There was a slam exchange in the center of the ring, but as the coaches pointed out after the match, it looked like they were just kind of going really light on each other. Kevin Owens made a comment to Bubba Ray that with the size of both of these men, that it just looked like they were like love tapping each other out there. It should have been a lot more harder hitting contest because Keanu Carver's a big boy, big guy. But Drake Monroe is no slouch himself, and obviously coming from the Bayou, Keanu Carver looked dominant when using strength, but Drake Monroe gained momentum with speed. The coaches heavily focused on Carver after the match, suggesting he stood out most of the segments. Keanu Carver won the match. Well, Drake Monroe ended up winning the match with his finisher, and then obviously he did the Bayou bingo dance. But Keanu Carver obviously was a standout performer there in this matchup. So, like I said, this is going to be a short show. We're right around close to 30 minutes. Shout out to everybody that's watching live, 83 people. I mean, it's almost midnight, so I definitely appreciate you guys that are tuning in. If you are watching live on YouTube, please make sure to hit that like button on the stream. So match number 3, and it is the main event of the night. And like I said, we had a video package about Kendall Gray. Obviously, she's represented by Natalya. They talked about how she's like phenomenal, like already. They already said like she's already main roster ready and stuff like that. She's gonna be going up against PJ Vasa, who has competed in both seasons of LFG. Has also came very close to winning both seasons. This was framed as technique, but this match was framed as technique versus raw force. Natalya wanted Kendall Gray to control tempo and Vasa to impose her power. PJ Vasa, obviously, it looks like she had some sort of like she is of the Samoan descent, so like she had some sort of like I would say it wasn't the Ulafala, but something similar wrapped around her neck. But Kendall Gray come out, and the fans were going crazy for her. So definitely a very competitive bout. PJ Vasa ended up hitting a Samoan drop on Kendall Gray. But Kendall Gray has that amateur wrestling takedown. Like obviously what I said, she competed on the men's varsity team. So she has that amateur wrestling takedown, and PJ Vasa powered out of a lot of holds, running shoulder tackle. PJ Vasa delivered a running shoulder tackle, but Kendall Gray had fired back with an arm drag and some roll throughs and a knee strike sequence. PJ ended up hitting Kendall Gray with the corner splash. And then she ended up trying to go for her finishing move on 2 separate occasions. Kendall Gray ended up escaping the slam attempt into a cradle. Kendall Gray ended up winning this match with a pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Kendall Gray and PJ Vasa both looked great in this match, obviously. Out of the 3 matches tonight on LFG Season 3, Episode 1, this was the best one. The match was used to showcase both women's upside, with Kendall receiving praise for fundamentals and composure. Kendall Gray featured strongly, like the edge and coach's evaluation. So for me, I like to do this for LFG. I'm just going to give my best performers of episode 1. Callie Armstrong, obviously, big win over a known name, and Nikita Lyons, powerful, confident, looked very TV ready for Callie Armstrong. Kiana Carver has star aura and drew attention from Kevin Owens. And obviously Kendall Gray, she showed polish, match skills, and ring IQ. And then let's talk about the coaches. I like to highlight some of the coaches' commentary. Booker T focused on swagger, presence, and can you capture attention. Bubba Ray Dudley wanted intensity and believable violence, especially between Drake Monroe and Kiana Carver. Kevin Owens looked for real personalities, not fake characters. Natalya zeroed in on ring mechanics and aggression. So, the final episode summary. Season 3 immediately felt more serious and competitive than past seasons without teams or points. Every match matters individually. The biggest statement of the night was Callie Armstrong defeating Nikita Lyons, while Kiana Carver and Kendall Gray also emerged as names to watch. And then obviously at the end, after Kendall Gray defeated PJ Vasa, like I said, the crowd went crazy, and she walked back to the back, and Matt and Shawn Michaels obviously was watching the match as well as Natty and them. Natty and Booker T were watching from the back. And as soon as Kendall Gray came through Gorilla, Shawn Michaels was waiting there, and he called Kendall Gray over and gave her all the praise and obviously everything that she so rightly deserved. Kendall Gray is an absolute, like I told everybody earlier on Scoop, she is the future of NXT. She's going to be a NXT Women's Champion very soon. And she's going to be a name to watch also on the main roster for a long time to come. She has that Kurt Angle ability as a female. I mean, she's very structured in what real wrestling is compared to what they do, with the scripted stuff or whatever. But Shawn Michaels called her over to where he was sitting at, and he told Kendall Gray that she was phenomenal and that she amazed him and that she was going to be called up to NXT. So, as I said at the beginning of this podcast, LFG Season 3, Episode 1, this season is way different. This isn't a point system where a coach is trying to win at the end of the season. Each and every match is going to matter with these coaches. This is basically this could be the end. I don't know. Somebody asked me that earlier if there would be an LFG Season 4. I don't know. But this is definitely a make or break season. Because just like we saw tonight, Kendall Gray, just after one match on LFG Season 3, Episode 1, was awarded that NXT contract. Obviously, she was overcome with them, overflowing with emotion, super happy. And then they showed her taking pictures holding the NXT book, and then obviously Kendall Gray signing that NXT contract. So it was definitely different than what I was expected. It's definitely different than the first and second season, like I said, because it was more structured around the first episode from season 1 and season 2. He just kind of got a feel from all the coaches. Obviously, we seen Mickie James, The Undertaker, Michelle McCool was obviously a coach last year. Normally on episode 1, all the coaches get together and they pick their roster, and then they go to the matches. And then after each episode, a coach would be awarded points, or a point for each, say, obviously Kendall Gray won her match. So, if this was last season, Natty would have gotten a point. Kiana Carver won the match, so Kevin Owens would have gotten a point. Callie Armstrong won the match, and so her coach would have got the point. So, it would have been 3 different points if it was 3 different coaches. But this year, it's just more of a make or break season. You can have one match on LFG, and if Shawn Michaels is impressed and thinks you have what it takes, like he said at the beginning of the show, this isn't a point system based show. This year, there's nobody competing for points, and the coaches aren't competing for points. It's all about finding the right talent to move up to that NXT roster and in the future hitting that main event scene and hitting the main roster, which Kendall Gray absolutely is going to be, I say, by 2027, mid-2027. Look, I was 100% she's going to be on the main roster. She's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, what a way to kick off LFG season 3, episode 1. I'm super excited that I will be able to bring each and every one episode to you guys. It was a kind of a shaky start because I couldn't find it on my cable provider, but I did go ahead and just add the A&E thing to it, which wasn't really that big of a deal. But yeah, so I do enjoy doing these shows because, like I said, they're only an hour long, so I don't have to be on here for 2 hours recapping each match. But I did enjoy seeing Nikita Lyons. Loves to do a lot of trash talking. Again, Callie Armstrong defeated Nikita Lyons, even though Kiana Carver would destroy Drake Moreau, probably more than likely. Drake Moreau did defeat Kiana Carver tonight, and in the main event, Kendall Gray defeated PJ Vasa, who, if you guys have watched WWE Evolve, was also on WWE Evolve. So, but I guess the cliffhanger, I'm looking, and like I said, I'm looking forward to like Zena Sterling. She was always one of my favorites from season 1 and season 2. Serena Linton. I loved her from season 1 and season 2. One of my first people that I've ever like spoken with outside of like, in a personal DM was obviously Danny Ray, which is now Skylar Ray. She came from season 1 and season 2 as well. One of my first OD follows. She now is on the current active NXT roster. She is a season 2 winner of LFG. And I'm also looking forward to see what Tiffany Stratton, boyfriend Shady Alanius, can do. I've heard a lot about him and that he was at the Performance Center, and then I've seen, the highlights and all that of all the people that was going to be on the season. But most importantly, at the end of the show, they definitely did a big cliffhanger, which I kind of talked about at the beginning of the show with Drake Moreau. Even though like he was victorious, they really kind of acted like he was okay. Like Kevin Owens made a point and said that he showed his best stuff in the last like 30 seconds of the match. Just didn't really deliver. And Kiana Carver, they said, really didn't either for two big men going at it tonight. So definitely a great start to LFG, but the ultimate cliffhanger is Shawn Michaels going into episode 2 was at the table with Drake Moreau and said something about that his time here at the Performance Center was going to be coming to a close. Now, is it really coming to a close because he's getting cut, or is he getting brought up to NXT? So, as I love to do with any spoilers or any shows, obviously, you guys enjoy watching these shows and stuff on Netflix and stuff like that. It's a cliffhanger, so you will have to tune in to LFG Season 3, Episode 2 recap show next Sunday night, live here on the EVP show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern to find out exactly what happens with the Bayou Boy himself, Drake Moreau. Again, just to go over the matches, we saw Callie Armstrong defeat Nikita Lyons, Drake Moreau defeated Kiana Carver, and in the main event, Kendall Gray defeated PJ Vasa and has now earned a NXT contract, which we already knew anyway if you watch NXT, because Kendall Gray is heavily involved in the NXT roster already. So this looks like it's going to be a very interesting season, because now I don't have to keep. I know that was one of the pain in the asses for me, honestly, for season 1 and season 2, was I would have to literally write down all the coaches and then keep up with which coach got the point, which wrestler got the point that night. This season's more about just who wins the matches the impact that it left on the coaches, and obviously the heartbreak kid, Shawn Michaels, who is the man with the plan, the man that makes the ultimate decision whether you're cut or you're moving up to NXT. I believe this season is going to be a way more focal point on, because you're going to see the Callie Armstrongs go up, or whoever else is brought up to NXT throughout this season. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this season is going to play out. Like I said, at the end, after Kendall Gray defeated PJ Vasa, she came to the back and she was hugged by Shawn Michaels and awarded an NXT contract where she took several pictures with the NXT, holding it up, and then she also signed the NXT contract. So congratulations, Kendall Gray, even though I knew already she's on NXT, but I love LFG, so I was just acting like I just didn't know. But obviously, you guys, if you haven't watched it, I think it'll be available on demand tomorrow. But it was live on A&E tonight, and it's live every Sunday on A&E at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. So that is it, guys. Like I said, don't expect a huge, long recap show. That's what I love about LFG is I can get it done in less than an hour. Shout out to the 134, almost 135 people that have tuned in for the LFG Season 3, Episode 1 recap show. And once again, we'll go over the winners one more time. As we saw Callie Armstrong defeat Nikita Lyons. Drake Monroe, Roxanne Perez's boyfriend, defeated Keanu Carver. And in the main event, Kendall Gray defeated PJ Vasa and has now earned herself a NXT contract. So I don't, unless they show Kendall again at the beginning of episode 2 getting the contract, I don't think that we will see Kendall Gray back on LFG. But that's okay because we got to see her for one episode. So I told Miami, I was like, I want Kendall Gray on some of my thumbs. So now, I don't know. Still could possibly use her for a thumbnail because I do love Kendall Gray. But actually, I believe it was, who did I have on the thumb for? PJ Vasa was actually on my thumbnail for this episode. And so she was in the main event. So that was really good time. And obviously, I have Callie Armstrong on the thumb for episode 2. And then Nikita Lyons on the thumb for episode 3. But that is it, guys, for the much anticipated and season debut and newest show to the EVP Show channel and the DWE Network, the LFG Season 3, Episode 1 recap show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed LFG. Make sure you tune in next Sunday live at 10 p.m. Eastern on A&E. With that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go to the outro, and I will be back to tell you guys where you can find me on my social and what I have coming up for you guys this entire week. And once again, I hope you enjoy the LFG Season 3, Episode 1 recap show live at April 26, 2026 here on the EVP Show.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Predictions Sports. Let go, Show Recaps Predictions Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Predictions Sports. Let go.
All right. Once again, shout out to the 140 people that's watching live here on the EVP show. It is a shout out to Miami for this fire ass background. Let me move back out of the way so you guys can see it. It's great. It's me sitting on the car, the green car with all the wrestlers in the back. Obviously, hosted with me. Obviously, EVP, Jay Perry, live on X YouTube. And then see if we can start time there. 11:30 p.m. Eastern right after the show. So shout out to Miami for this awesome background. I also have another one, but this one right here is fire. So definitely appreciate Miami for that. Shout out to Miami. Always, as he's helped me a lot with my channel. He helps with all the thumbs, the videos to help me get ready. Great. I mean, he is killing it. I'm almost a week and a half ahead. I'm already starting to work on the week of Backlash, but everything is set for next week. So big shout out to the head of the table, CEO of DWE Miami the Great, Final Boss Baby as well. Make sure you follow both of them on X and give Talk It Up Podcast, which we are live on the Talk It Up Podcast X channel. Make sure you give them a follow on X and a subscription on YouTube. Shout out to The World of Greg, Director Reg, After Slam Podcast. Make sure you give him a follow on X and also a subscription on YouTube. And we just added 2 members to the DWE team. So I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to them. Just got added, and one will be on my Backlash prediction show, May the 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So shout out to, let's see. All right, so shout out to Famous Davis of BodySlam.net at K.Views, obviously on X. He will be a part of the he is a part of DWE now. And also shout out to Kyle, the man Anthony, who will be co-hosting, not tomorrow because Greg's sick, but will be co-hosting the breakdown of Monday Night Raw going forward with Greg, which I believe they do that an hour or so before Monday Night Raw each and every week. So welcome to DWE. Yeah, so glad to have a couple new members. Obviously, I've done a lot of work with Kyle previously, so I'm glad to see Kyle part of a team that is gonna get a lot of support, and he's getting ready to start, getting started on YouTube. So this is definitely the way to go. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to the LFG season 3 episode 1 recap show live here on the EVP show. 148 people watching live. So as far as where you can find me on my social, and if you are watching this or have watched this or if you do go back and watch this live on YouTube, please make sure you hit that like button on my stream. It definitely helps my channel and my algorithm. Like I said, my goal is to get to 300 subscribers by SummerSlam. You guys helped. Yeah, you guys killed it. Help me get to my goal before WrestleMania. I hit 200 a couple of weeks before WrestleMania. So yeah, shout out to you guys for that. But as far as my socials, every one of my social platforms, if you guys are following me on there, you will be able to find my YouTube link pinned. So if you're not following me on X, make sure to follow me on X at EVPCJP. And once you have followed me, or if you're not following me, and you do, and I'll follow you back, my YouTube link is pinned at the comments. My YouTube link is pinned at the top of my page. So like I said, if you got friends and family that enjoy wrestling content, I cover LFG, TNA, NXT, WWE predictions, recaps of PLEs. Soon, hopefully, a little bit of AEW as well. So, yeah. So it's at EVPCJP. My Instagram is also now a business account, so you can also find my YouTube link pinned there. And that is also at EVPCJP as well. TikTok is at Brady the Goat 21. That's at Brady BRADY DA Goat 21. Not THEDA, at Brady the Goat 21. Last but not least, most importantly, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like I said, please help me get to my goal of 300 subscribers by SummerSlam. I'm at 219 last time I checked. And thank you to the 200 plus people that tuned in earlier at 6 p.m. Eastern for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP. We had over 104 questions, a 2 hour and close to 2.5, maybe a little over 2.5 hour stream. Because we did miss WrestleMania Scoops on Sunday Scoop show on WrestleMania Sunday, but episode 18 was phenomenal. So thank you guys that show up each and every week and participate. And the show is for you guys ultimately. So once the questions stop, I end the stream, and so the questions were going today. So thank you for that. But if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're looking for it, just go up to that search bar and type in at the EVP show, and you can find my YouTube channel. If you are subscribed to me, please turn on the notification bell and reminder, and you'll be notified every time that I go live. What I have coming up next for you guys, tomorrow night, I'm back. It is the second Raw after WrestleMania. We're on our way to Backlash. Will Roman Reigns accept Jacob Fatu's challenge for the WWE Raw Men's Heavyweight Championship? Tune in at 11 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for the Raw recap show. And then I'm back Tuesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time for your NXT recap show. And then Wednesday I'm off, but catch me back Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time for your TNA recap show. And then next Friday night, will Fatal Influence continue to wreak havoc on WWE and the SmackDown women's roster, or the SmackDown roster in general, as JC Jane goes one-on-one versus Charlotte Flair, my two favorite females in wrestling right now. Tune in live Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time for your SmackDown recap show. And then Saturday I'm off again. But next Sunday it is Doubleheader Sunday. Second week of Doubleheader Sunday. Tune in live at 6 p.m. Eastern for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP, episode number 19. And then later on that night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, come back here to join me as we go over LFG Season 3, episode number 2 recap show. So 2 shows coming up again next Sunday. Sunday Scoops at 6 p.m. Eastern, and LFG Season 3, episode 2 next Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. That being said, thank you guys so much. Over almost 400 views between the 2 shows today. Thank you guys so much for the support. And make sure you hit that notification bell reminder and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share with your friends. Hit that notification bell and you will be reminded when I go live. And I will see, hopefully you guys enjoy your Monday. I know it's start back of a work week, but it is Monday Night Raw night, so it should be a big Raw. Roman Reigns will be there to accept Jacob Fatu's challenge to set that main event for Backlash. So also program note, I will be having, not this coming up week, but not this coming up Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, May the 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I have a full panel already, and I just posted today for the WWE Backlash prediction show. So make sure you guys, once you see that stream set up, make sure you guys set the reminder and join all of us as we predict WWE Backlash. We got close to 200 views on YouTube for the WrestleMania prediction show. So thank you guys so much for that and support. That being said, I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE, and this has been LFG Season 3, Episode 1 Recap Show. And if you're not with DWE, what are you doing? And last but not least, YouTube, what do you want to talk about? Hopefully you guys enjoy LFG, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap. Hope you guys enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks again for Doubleheader Sunday. See you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.